Good morning, good
Good morning, good
morning.
morning,
Welcome to
guys.
FYI. For your information, I'm
Good
Joy to
morning.
Finance alongside Sherry Duncan this morning. It is Wednesday, the 8th of June, 2022, and we're here again with you, bringing you credible
Not a
information.
day, not a
You know,
dollar.
I was just about to say that.
You can still say it. Nothing is precluding you.
Is it jinx? Is that what you say when you say this? When you're about
Not
to
a
say
day, not a dollar.
I don't know what to say.
John Jones, Yvonne Rodriguez.
I see you guys there that have been in the
Mhm.
comment section very early this
Yeah.
morning, making sure that you mark your name present. And we are so appreciative of each and every one of you. Miss Guyana 10 is in the house this morning.
Correct,
Miss
is right.
Guyana 10 and John Jones is
Yep,
having a
yep. And
conversation.
Yvonne Rodriguez is here as well. Beatrice Selby is missing. Candy Lee and Indrajit is missing. Those are usually the first folks.
Yeah.
We're good to have you guys
Beatrice.
nonetheless. Good to have Yvonne and John and Miss Rodriguez. You know, John will have special connotations for Druida. Myself too. I have a son named John.
Very special for
Spelled
me.
just
Very special.
Jon, shortened form.
Yes.
Yep. Marilyn King is quick to the keyboard.
Quick on the
Savitri
drag.
Sal is here as well. How are you doing, Savitri? Trust that you guys are great and keep doubting.
The Kit Dowling. Kit, where are you joining us from?
Tell us, Kit. Kit,
I'm
where you
very
coming in from?
curious about
Where
your
Rockland coming in
name,
from?
Kit Dowling. You know,
Kit,
where are you coming
Kit is
from
here
this
and
morning?
see Audrey Milo. That's all I like. Milo tea. That's all I like my tea. Milo tea. Audrey Milo. No, I'll tell you your situation up front.
Okay.
Milo.
I'm having tea bag, some kind of tea bag. I really don't know. I just prefer to just.
It's the
go like
original
that.
tea bag.
Tea bag.
Found in tea bag.
You know, I've been trying to brew tea over the last 2 months or so. It's not working out for me.
Yeah, it's just a little hard.
I don't know what's going
Checking
on.
to see the AC sample.
Yeah.
You know. Yep, better than the rain. But
Yeah, I have some of those days in which I feel a little hot. Guys, how you doing? How has your morning started?
Tell
Is
me,
it
tell me,
raining?
we want to know.
Let us know what is going on at your end. What's concerning you? What's bothering you? Your big issue for today, wherever you're coming from.
Do tell.
Make sure you tell us in the comment
Do tell
section.
us,
And
please.
I have been going back to the comments as much as I could to see if I missed anything important. But if I don't get it, you know, you can always tag. Just tag me. So I'll be going
Folks, you know what you
directly
gotta do? Make the shares look nice. Make the emojis look nice. Good to see Edward Gonzalez, Streeter.
Yes, from the Bronx.
Margaret Johnson is here as well. Yes, Margaret. Yes, correct.
Edward is
Yes,
very
the question.
Okay, so I don't know. Okay, I got you. So Polly and Schultz is here, but Polly Anderson is raining in New Amsterdam.
Wow.
Yes, it's
Wow.
not raining here this morning. Thankfully,
Yeah.
it's not raining.
Even though that some of that is also on the weather report for this morning. I see they're telling us we're going to have thunderstorms during the course of the day. So if that is anything to go by, we're going to be looking at that. We're looking at that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a Facebook user, saying good morning, everyone. Keep up the good work, Doretta.
We can try. We can try.
We're trying. We're trying our best.
We're gonna try
our best to make
there's
sure.
The weather.
Oh yes, there's a weather, guys. You know, Sharon is very keen when it comes to keeping the updated weather report very accurate to the date.
Yeah. So it's 25 degrees outside, as we're telling us, and thunderstorms. This is for Region 4, and in Georgetown in particular. And we hope the weather is great where you guys are. Sorry we couldn't show for more places, but it's what we have to work with for now. Still building, you know. We're still building and tweaking and tracking and tweaking, twerking and tweaking.
Don't worry, that's when we're going to start. We're gonna push and start and show that the currency value, price of gold, and stuff like that, as it pertains to what is going on here. We're gonna.
Are you talking about currency?
Yes, exactly. As we're speaking about it, there you are.
Right on.
The foreign exchange
rates
all together. You know, I was most excited when I was doing my first degree in economics, because we were looking at all of those things. And when it comes to cross currency arbitrage, and those, I'm like, you know, interesting world altogether.
Very much so how the currency exchange operates. The forex.
Way back then, you know, in 2006. Yeah,
long time ago.
It is what
long time ago.
Exactly.
You know? I think you might have said bridge too somewhere in there.
Yeah, I said bridge. I said bridge. I wanted the bridge report, and there you have it, guys. The bridge report, as you see.
Credible, valid information. Tia Pompey, how you doing? Tia. Fenton Hosanna is here as well. Hosanna. Good to have Fenton and Tia. Claire Alexis Chomley Richmond is here too.
I was trying to figure out if that was one person.
All that. Claire Alexis Chomley Richmond. All of that.
Okay, so I can't miss the name Golly God.
It's here.
Sure, you met the dam. I said,
share the damn live stream. Correct is right.
So,
Share the damn live stream.
these names, these names.
These
It's becoming very creative. I must say.
What can we say?
I see Marlon King is saying love
What
the
shall we say?
uniform. Sheridan Jureta. What's
Oh,
going on,
wow.
Sheridan?
I didn't realize you were in the same color too.
Wow.
This might be the FYI color.
But your shirt is actually not black. It's like, is it your jacket? It's
No,
not
it's
black.
blue.
It's like very dark blue.
Yeah, but
But you can't recognize
maroon.
that.
I think it's the maroon. Is this maroon? It's great.
We look like we're wearing a uniform.
It's what? It's mauve. I leave it alone.
Sharon, I need to go back to that color scale. So do not ask. Don't ask.
Morning, guys. Morning.
Yes.
Good to have you guys here. I'll even check that out. But thanks for alerting us. It looked like we're playing in the same band.
Oh my goodness.
If you can sing straight, I can try to hold the melody. Good
morning.
Biggest
failure that would be.
Failure.
Well, Marlon King said, well, I already shared the damn lives.
Yeah, thank you, folks. Thank you. Smash that emoji button, guys. A Facebook user
is asking Sheridan, are you back in Parliament sitting?
Well, not right now. This very minute.
It will be planned,
Yeah, but the first suspension that was on.
Yeah.
I'm off. I've cleared my 4 sittings.
Yeah, so
but I may
supposed to be.
I may be on another 4.
Yeah, I don't think they want you in there.
I may be on another 4 because which committee is that? Committee of Suspension. Committee of Privileges met recently, and you remember some of us were sent to the Committee of Privileges.
A long list of persons because we tried to prevent, according to them, the passage of the what was that? That was the National Resource Fund Act. Another critical one was passed that same day too. No, that one in particular.
And it's not the local content. The local content act was passed too. And because we were just representing the voices of the people out there, we were sent to the Privileges Committee. And the Privileges Committee recently recommended its 4 sittings. Yeah, the Privileges Committee recently recommended
by themselves, yes,
recommended that yours truly and others, they recommended 4 sittings suspension. So I just came off of 4.
I think it's 4 for some and 6 or something.
Right. I might be heading to another 4, but let's see how it goes. It is what it is.
Parliament of Guyana.
More time to spend with you guys.
Parliament of Guyana.
Yep.
There's so much that will be said on that matter when we get to that bridge.
Parliament of Guyana.
We will cross it. But,
correct is right.
Very, very serious.
Correct is right.
Very, very serious. I can say that.
Correct is right.
Chising, I see Chising in the comment section. I see Chisel Chipper is also 68. And I see Jewel Ward. Hey, Jewel Ward. Good morning to you, Rudy.
Welcome.
Is it Sheena Hazel? Hey, Sheena, good morning.
Hey, Sheens.
How are you doing?
Very.
Marlon King, it says, God have the final say.
Yeah,
that is very true. And when it comes to what goes on
here,
correct. The people all together, the unified voices of the people are going to have a resounding response to all that is going on.
Go on. The people have the last say.
Yeah.
The people got the last say, and they will, as you said, they will speak resoundingly.
Can you keep a good man long? You see?
No. We can keep just digging out wherever you put me.
These people go, they scrape the bottom of the barrel to get issues and to get things to try to prevent democracy from actually playing out again altogether. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing there. It's nothing else. Absolutely nothing else being done. Yeah. But I have my own
wickedness.
I have my own conviction when it comes to dealing with certain matters.
Talk to us. Let's see.
Edward
Brooms is here. Edward says present. Good.
Hey Edward, how are you doing?
Pauline Schultz says wicked, stink and dirty. That sounds familiar. Correct.
Rain and Barbie says
Suk Chan. Suk Harry. Yeah. Good to have you, Suk Chan, and Osafa Gerald D. Santos. Good to have you, Osafa.
Jane Ogle. I see Jane Ogle. I see you.
Lovely folks. All you guys, ensure you share the live stream and smash that emoji button as well, guys.
Yes, you have to do your part. I have been telling you guys, when you see you come on the program, don't take it lightly. The information that we bring to you is we bring a very compact program with so many information that you have to share out because people need to know what is going on. Especially when I think the beauty, and I was told yesterday by someone that I met, a stranger, to be honest with you. I was told yesterday that one of the things that they like about the program is that we bring context to these headlines that they see the newspapers are putting out there. And, we bring the discussion to the people and the feedback and all of that. There's very appreciative of. And that's what we try to do. It's not okay to just have misinformation being spewed out there and for us not to be addressing it.
Correct.
A lot of times, a lot of headline goes out there and persons would take it at face value. But it's our job to make sure that we come to you in the morning and break that down, put it into context, that you have a full understanding, and bring some facts in to put in there to say this is what is actually going on, as opposed to what is being reported.
Correct.
Right? It's a lot of work to be done on that front.
The morning papers, though, guys. The morning papers.
The morning papers.
Never seen the morning papers as I should.
I have never seen that in my life. I've never seen the morning papers.
What do we have this morning, Gita?
Well, this morning, one of the things I picked up in the paper is that alleged wife beater fatally shot himself to avoid arrest. And this situation is particularly coming out of Kitty, in which it was reported, as has been carried in the news, that a man, he was alleged that he was abusive to his wife. That's the allegation being made at this point, that he was abusive to his wife. And then the night prior, there was an issue between the two of them, and he threatened her that if she go to the police, he is going to harm himself. And when she did go with the police, when she went to the police yesterday and went back to the house, he actually shot himself.
Wow.
That is what is being reported right now. I know we've been talking about the facts of domestic violence and gender-based violence and all of those things, right? And as crazy as it is, if you can track, we have to literally keep the data and actually put it collectively for persons to get an idea of how many cases is being reported every single day. It's nothing nice. It's nothing to be proud of as a country. And we have to stop this attitude about, your neighbor abusing out, cussing out your neighbor, abusing your wife, and it could happen the opposite way too. But we have to stop the attitude that we leave it like, it's okay, it's just affecting them, so we don't insert ourselves. There are methods and mechanisms that you can go around. For me personally, there is no way on hell somebody could be abused, and I know, and the police doesn't know, right? As simple as that.
Yeah.
Once I know, the police will know immediately, and I don't. And those things are, and I keep saying, the police have a policy in which they call it a zero tolerance. When it comes to cases of gender-based violence, they say they have a zero tolerance. That is the way it should be. And that is the guidelines that they follow. And how it should be is that once someone goes there and makes a report, then that matter goes to court. And the person should not be allowed to, I just want to talk to this man and about this. I just want to do this, It must go to the court. That's the way it should be. Just send it up. But we have a whole lot to discuss on that. And like I've been saying, a lot of work to be done in that department. So again, in this situation, the woman was not, the allegation is being made that he was abusive to her, but she was not harmed in any severe way because that wasn't reported. However, when she took the police to the home to actually,
different story.
He shot himself. That is what has been reported.
Sad. Thoughts and prayers with those family, man.
Yeah.
Thoughts and prayers with them. Can't be easy.
Very, very, very tough, And a lot of times, children, I don't know of this particular situation, but a lot of times children are involved in all of this. And I'm most concerned about that because as a parent myself, that I'm sending my children out to school. And then I don't know the children that they have to go to school and mix with all the trauma that they're going through themselves, little kids. And that's why I always say, sometimes even in the school system, we have to have a different system there to deal with children, because that should be a safety net. That should supposed to be a comfort zone, a safe haven for children, because you don't know what hell they're coming from, basically, when they come to sit in those classrooms. Sometimes some of them a little wayward and so, but you don't know the hell that they're coming from to be there. So you provide, that the school system should be that nurturing, caring environment for them all together.
Yep. You have thoughts and prayers again with those family, and we want to say welcome to all of you who've just joined the program. I see Candace Chan is watching us from Orlando, Florida, and we're so privileged to have Candace. If Candace is watching us, Others watching us as well.
Yes.
You have others watching us. First, we want to say good morning.
Yes, good morning to my best friend in the whole world. Candice and I have been friends since we were in forest form. Over 20 years of friendship.
How come we have the same best friend?
Over 20 years of friendship. I don't keep a lot of friends.
Good morning, Candy.
When I have a friend, I have a friend.
You have a friend.
I am not somebody that changes friends over the course of years. I hold on to friends. I hold on to friends for dear life.
Yeah, I have a friend in Jesus.
Right? So
what a friend we have in Jesus.
Yeah, Candice and I have been friends for many, many years. Like I said, over 20 years of friendship.
Don't pretend I can't sing it.
We have been through a lot together.
Yeah. And if Candice is watching, it means
Quinn
is watching too. So good morning, Quinn. Respect and manners. Subo Williams, good to see you as well. Mala Pandey, good to see you. How is Carmichael Street this morning, Mala? Good to see you, Elizabeth.
I think Candice is touring now. I don't even think
she's at
home.
I don't know.
I just remember.
I don't know if it's Candice is inspiring Warren or Warren is inspiring Candice, but they're always touring.
It's something like that.
Touring.
But I know she's not. I know she's not at home right now. She's not in New York.
She's not in New York. So it's a long time. We went Florida neither. Just like the Quinn and Candice. A long time. I've never went to Florida. Usually.
You passed through.
I passed through the airport.
Several times passed.
Yeah. I sat down at the airport in Florida. I watched the door. Everything's saying, Duncan, where you going back to the country for? Make a beeline. Make a beeline. But I didn't want to see myself on the front page of some newspapers.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true.
Yeah. You see that? Look, Joretta can pretend now she didn't see Glenford Gordon coming.
I didn't see it. What did it say?
Glenford said, I sung proper, make a record. You see that? Joretta won't let me be great. She won't let me be great. She won't let me be great. You see that?
If I see these things, I would actually read them out.
She spot Candy one time. Right? But let somebody write, Sharon look good. You look buff. You sung awesome. She didn't see that.
So you look thick.
Come to the front, come to the back. Pip. It is what it is. Once one gets older, you got to comport yourself differently. Yep, Candy's here. Candy come late. You see that?
Candy, you're late. I haven't seen
just
Beatrice's yet.
Roll out of bed and falling on the ground.
Beatrice's yet. Candy, you need to check in on Beatrice and see what's going on.
Yep. And Candy checks in with Beatrice. And who's the other person she's always
I can't remember.
Worrying about? I'm seeing the name. Nonetheless, that's the person she worries about.
You see,
Chip.
No, but I see Quinn. Quinn is there right about now. So I see Quinn and say, me and Candy love Delilah color code.
Respect and manners.
Listen, we don't plan these.
Respect and manners.
We didn't say it all unless it was until it was brought.
Great minds.
Here.
We need a team song now. We're good to go.
Yes.
Respect and manners, Quinn. Respect and manners. Merly, as a couple, I can imagine Candy saying, don't look at me phone. Go your own device. Go your own device, Quinn. GT Boy, good to see you as well. And Pinky Kerr and Joel Warren, all the other folks. Maylene Sampson.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't hear strong names like Maylene now.
I know one Maylene in Bartico.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Sister Maylene.
Yeah.
As I must say, Sister Maylene. Yeah. I'm not at that level to call her full mouth.
Lena is here as well. Lena Williams.
Oh,
and if Lena is here, from South Bramville, it means that Lynn Finance is here as well.
Lovely.
Right? And I know both of them are in the US right now. Lena taking a walk by Lynette. by Lynn, by Lynn Finance. We're happy to have you here.
You see how shared is these people's business?
Yeah, everybody. Well, if you know whiskey session here, Tiger Bay in the house too.
Of course.
Right?
Whiskey
Tiger Bay in the
session
house.
there from Tiger Bay.
Yep.
Whiskey session need to change this behavior. Whiskey early in the morning.
Lennox says, look, like, why are you missing comments?
Okay, let's go.
Lennox, forget your attention. Lennox says, congratulations in advance, Sharon and Jarida.
Congratulations on what?
Easy far.
I'm not sure.
Right? We got conference coming up. Remember these things?
I know.
Remember December. Remember.
Remember.
I know your father. Remember. The Gloria Chest is here. Gloria is joining us from Diamond, the Independent Republic of diamond. Welcome, Gloria.
That's how it is. That's how we hear of it. And
Yeah,
I think Linden is the same.
Yeah.
Who's joining some Linden this morning?
Who is Linden in the house?
Yes.
Vanessa Troyer, good to see you as well. Good to see you,
Let us know if Linden is in the house.
Sharon Edwards is here. Good to see all of you guys.
And Region 3.
Yep. We still in the morning.
I see Royston.
Sorry.
Thank
you,
Walter. You see, you want to miss Royston's comment because he just said good morning to Retta.
Yeah.
Please say good morning to Sherry too. So
good morning, Royston.
So
you always say goodbye. I say good morning to you. Respect a man. I go in the man. Right? I turn the other cheek. Yep. Good to have you folks. Good to have each and every one of you.
Well, someone was just complaining we're not calling them, but the comment went by so
Milton
quickly.
wants to know, Granham wants to know when is Parliament. We wish we knew. Them boys like keeping suspense.
We haven't had any notification.
You know, in other countries, they publish the whole sitting list for the year.
In the UK, in specific.
The whole list
in the UK,
for the year.
Specifically in the UK, they would just let persons know, well, at the ending of 2021, in December 2021, they set the schedule and they said these are the sit-ins for 2022. And if they are women, especially mothers there that would have a particular time, they would be busy getting their kids ready for school. All of those things are taken into consideration because they want to have a democratic system in which the avenue is a level playing field and everyone is afforded the opportunity to come to the house and speak. In Guyana, what is done here is that the members of the government use up every opportunity they have to shut out any aspect of democracy and the voices to be heard within the National Assembly.
So the fewer times it is held, the better for them. The fewer times
and these people, we're gonna just bring a motion. We have one more than them, so we're just gonna bring a motion in the house to make sure that we shut them out one by one. If you don't like, if you go there and they don't like your tie, we don't like Mr. Dublin's tie. Motion, sit in,
Privilege committee. They like your color. Yeah, you're wearing too much mauve. Tech privilege committee.
Oh, good.
That's okay. What else we got in the morning papers?
Well, as we move forward, as you guys know that we were speaking about I think during the course of the week, I know it was brought up in the ring also on the FYI program about a sad situation with a 12-year-old schoolgirl that was in that fatal accident. You know, I'm reading a report.
Kayla.
Yeah, I'm reading a report online and that I'm not too happy with, to say the very least. Because a headline saying police receiving legal advice in schoolgirl's fatal accident. You know. And listen, I want to note at this point that I've been reading a few letters in the newspapers and so forth as it pertains to this particular matter. And one particular individual, I think Mr. Imret it was that would pointed out in his letter to the editor that says that, you know, usually when these things happen, you know the name of the individual and charges are laid immediately. And so what is going on?
Yeah.
What is the secrecy altogether about this matter? So to come now, so many days after, to say that you're waiting, you know, to receive
legal opinion,
advice on how this should go forward, it just doesn't spell right for the Guyanese
different. And
right?
as we said, the fellow who was driving that police vehicle, he was undertaking.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know if you have, and there was a pedestrian crossing. They said the vehicle in front had stopped for young Caleb to pass, and the police vehicle was undertaking. And when she met her demise in this way,
yes,
sadly.
That is very sad. And I know that I believe that there was a vigil last night for young Kayla there, and I can tell you that if I had known that I would have found that is something that is really touching for everyone to be pouring out their support to that family. Correct. No mother wants to know that you send your child to school and then you know your child isn't coming back home. Very sad. And I think and I would urge at this point in time, I would put it so in that way. I would urge urgency in the matter in dealing with it at the level of the police force. We can't just perception is key in everything, especially when you're dealing with the legal system. And if a system is perceived to be biased in any way for or against any particular grouping, then it doesn't spell right when it comes to justice. And this can't just be it,
you know, you just
it doesn't
pay for a
right.
week and a funeral and that's it, you're 12-year-old godman.
Exactly, it doesn't spell right when it comes to justice. When you hear that word justice, you know, Lady Justice Day.
Must mean something.
It must mean something. The perception of bias must never ever.
It must mean something.
There. So
what else on the
margin urgency there?
What else on the cards today?
Well, as it says right now, I want to make mention as it pertains to what's circulating in the news that the National Tushaw's conference is scheduled to return in July, which is next month. The National Tissue Conference is scheduled to return in July. Guys, when there was the whole COVID pandemic and all of that, I know administration, they would go ahead and do what they feel that they could do and want to do. But when it comes to these matters, COVID was the reason that it was not held and all of that. I want to make the point. I have to make the point. The Tissue Conference is scheduled to be held in July. And I want to make the point that we have been raising a significant amount of failures when it comes to the Ministry of Amerindian Affairs, as they renamed it from Indigenous Peoples Affairs. All right. We have been raising a significant amount of issues that pertains to this particular ministry. Issues of petitions being sent in from villagers when it comes to them questioning good governance and transparency, and more so accountability at the levels of the leaders within these communities. Issues that has been put down to rest, docked on their files, not being dealt with at the level of the ministry and the minister, to be exact. We have noted the reports that are coming out of the newspapers that are saying even the groupings that represent the Indigenous peoples have not been able to secure a meeting with the minister and all of that.
Sad. That's sad.
So I'll be putting key focus when it comes to this particular conference, and I'll make myself present, right? Invited or not, I'll make myself present.
You're there.
All right, so I'll put that on notice.
What else we got in the morning?
Yes, as we move forward, let's get out to the morning papers.
We're brewing now. What's brewing?
Let's go into what's brewing.
What's brewing?
This morning. Yes, that is correct. I'm going to let Sherry take the first one.
Well. Excited. Look what's happening on the international scene. And we saw this out of the BBC. It happened in England. A doctor, this panel said, traumatized the woman when he requested her to remove her veil. She had objected for examination. She objected, and she filed a complaint with the medical board, and they had an investigation in which they ended up by saying that the woman was indeed traumatized, and his license now stands a chance of being revoked, or he stands a chance as a doctor of being barred. Interesting case. And do you know, if you pull up our notation on that, there are some things that he wrote down too on referring to the patient, and the panel said if they had read that, they would have found it traumatizing as well. It's quite an interesting case. Because of religious beliefs, she had refused to remove the veil, and he perhaps insisted in terms of examining her. And now the medical board, in which this issue came up for review, says that she was traumatized by that. And again, folks, he stands a chance now of having his license revoked. Very interesting. And there's a notation there that we put in the notes this morning that suggests, again, that some things he wrote down, they got a look of being innocuous. But the folks didn't take it lightly at all. And so again, he can be in some hot waters.
Well, I think
he stands a chance of being in some hot waters.
I think this is a very interesting conversation for us to have. I want to look at it very broadly also when it comes to examination, doctors examining patients altogether at the hospitals. And I have had my own bit of experience when it comes to being examined. When it comes to being examined by doctors and so forth. But this one in particular, the very fact that there are religious beliefs out there, and you cannot just, as a doctor, believe that you are above someone's right to protect themselves and uphold their religious belief. Right? So, and it's a very interesting discussion to be had altogether, because I can see the doctors saying, well, they're there to basically save lives and whatever. But as it has been unfolded in this particular case, it was not necessary. I believe that
Correct.
is the underlying essence of it. There was no life and death
Yeah,
situation
yeah.
in which you are forced to go beyond to save this woman's life or something of that nature.
Yeah, but and as we said, some of this is quite interesting. Let's come back to you guys so that you know we haven't disappeared. So you know that we haven't disappeared. Some of what was carried in the text of some notes he would have written about his patients. Again, the folks said they found it a little offensive, and here is some of what he wrote. He said he included on part of the notes he wrote about the patient. I do not understand a word these patients are saying. And the medical panel said, had the patient read that, they would have found it offensive. He went on in another instance to write that the English the patient spoke was absolutely abysmal. Right? And again, the panel said, had the patient read that, they would have found it very traumatizing and offensive.
Yeah.
So his license is, on borderline being revoked and being barred to practice.
So wait, let's look at this in our local context. Let us not just move away from this. Just let's look at it in our local context, because I can tell you that we have a lot of doctors in our country, specifically a lot of Cuban doctors that come and work here in Guyana, and there are very many instances of patients going to the hospital seeking medical attention, and those persons not being able to understand, because they would know and they learn, whatever English they learn is a standard English. And when they come here to interact with persons that are speaking basically Guyanese Creolese, they are at a loss as to what on earth they're saying. And there are some very startling examples that I personally have been persons complain bitterly, because we, like in Guyana, we have our Creolese is way different to other Caribbean countries. So when it comes to the language barrier altogether, and I want to say again, we were just speaking about this national to child conference, and I want to say also that it is even more difficult the farther into the indigenous communities that you go, and you have persons there that are not speaking even the Creolese that you were used to in the urban areas in Guyana, and you have persons there now speaking their native dialect, and they have the communication barrier is insane altogether. So this is a very interesting story to look at altogether. But I want to move off of this by saying, when it comes to the examination on patients being done by doctors, there's a lot of policy guidelines that are overarching in that regard. And I want to say at this point in time that once a minor is going to the hospital, then that child's parent accompanies that child for an examination. I have had reports being made to me, and I've been looking at it. In which persons are saying that the doctors are saying, due to COVID regulations and all of that, you could let the one patient, just the patient, come in and not be supervised. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Those regulations were not dashed through the door when COVID started. A minor is a minor. And when a minor goes, especially females going into the doctor, that person's parent needs to be there with them. And those are things that that's something I wanted to know before we move on that.
Another issue we're following on the international front is this one with Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. There's another one we're following on the international front. And apparently 6 years before they got married, they bought a business together in Italy. It was a house on a farm that produced wines.
A house on a farm?
A vineyard.
A
vineyard.
Very interesting.
Right? And now that they are divorced, Angelina Jolie has sold her interest in that to some third parties. And Brad Pitt said that he knows these people. He said they're absolute stranger and they don't have good intentions. And he says that Angelina sold this vineyard because she started to inflict harm on him. The word is so nuanced now. The doctor and the veil, some words written on a paper. Now, Brad Pitt is saying that Angelina deliberately sold it to this third party. He showed her interest in it. So he says now that he's trapped in this co-ownership with these strangers who you don't think have good intentions. And she did that because she sought to inflict harm on him. You know,
But they have got trouble.
Firstly, you know, if Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie could get divorced, I think that's too much hope for it. Because this was like the power couple. And then you have this issue now. This is I don't know what kind of problems you call it. It's rich people problems.
Yeah, I think so. You know, the public all up on their private beaches and stuff like that.
Yeah,
there's different problems. They have different issues altogether. But you know, I do note the concern there that they have. But every time I think about like these celebrity couples, you know, like I just wait. I just wait gradually as for the years go by.
Something's gonna happen.
So much for something that's gonna happen.
You're so optimistic, eh?
I'm very, very
so
pessimistic when it comes to that.
Isn't
you know?
she?
It's just what it is.
So optimistic.
Their aim is different, you know. We
so
have
optimistic.
Different aim.
Yeah, and then moving on from that, coming closer to home, guys. You know, the forecast is telling us we can expect more rain rather. The Caribbean told to brace for wetter than normal seasonal rainfall. Rita?
I think somebody should tell the PPP administration that's governing this country right now, the persons that profess to be the expert when it comes to climate change altogether.
They said brace for it.
And they're the ones that need to be informed.
Yeah, wetter than normal rainfall. And that's what it says. As a matter of fact, the report says the Barbados-based Caribbean Climate Outlook Forum Tuesday said that wetter than normal seasonal rainfall is expected, for the region. For the period, of course, June to August of this year, you can look forward to that. And actually, guys, locally, we had the Hydromet office has issued an alert for likely heavy rainfall. And this was just yesterday we saw this, right? That the Hydromet office reported that a tropical wave, is affecting Guyana. And as the wave continues its westward movement, wet conditions are likely, right? And they said that rainfall events may be accompanied by thunder, lightning, wind, and gusts and gales. Yep. So that kind of weather, again, you got to look out for it. All right. So those of you who want to be outside, you might gotta temper that.
Yes. Very, very, very true. And I see is it Golligard is asking why people calling Guyana Caribbean. Guyana is South America. Yeah, and I think it's very interesting that you said that, because even in, and I want to make the comparison. I just give the similarity in the way in which we do it here. For example, right, there is a place in Region 10, Rivers View, Goshen, as we call it, that is just across the river from Bartica. Right there across the river. And because of that, all of the administrative responsibilities in managing that area falls to Region 7, because that's the way in which it is done. All right, although it is in Region 10. And it's very similar as to when it comes to our culture altogether, and more specifically Guyana, being English speaking, tend to be more associated when we talk about Caribbean life. And as you would know, are all our dealings, and the fact that persons from Guyana reside, so a large part of our diaspora and all of that resides in the Caribbean. But I think our language is one of the more specific reasons that we affiliate more so with the Caribbean as opposed to South American nations. As sad as it is, what a point taken there that you were making.
Yeah, and as we still out there in terms of what's happening in the region, we saw this as well, and we thought it might be. This one was very sad because an American woman died after a butt lift surgery she had done in the Dominican Republic. And I know that, it is what it is. Lots of women like to tweak a little bit. And this didn't go so well for her. Thoughts and prayers with her family. She went to get a butt lift surgery in Dominica. I didn't even know they had this done there, but maybe you might know better than me. But it didn't go so well. It didn't go so well at all. Thoughts and prayers with her family.
All right, so I have to speak on this. This is something that is particularly interesting to women all over, and I think that men have a lot of role in this, and the fact that women go out there and they try to project themselves in this perfect image, to be, I think as they try to be more appealing to the opposite sex altogether. And
I'm still waiting to see how men have a role in this.
no, you put the pressure on that way because there's a lot of women. Let me be honest. I mean, this is the wrong person to have at this discussion panel, because women would be able to put it forward. If I had another female here, I would get the support in that light. But I'm gonna paddle this canoe by myself this morning. The fact is that as women get older, right, your body image is not projected as it was when you were younger. And it just so happens that the male species out there tend to subconsciously put pressure on females as it pertains to the way in which they look. And because of that, you see women all over the world. I mean, when it comes to plastic surgery, that is a growing business. It's ridiculous the amount of money that is pumped into that specific business sector right now. And I want to say that I caution women all the time not to go down that avenue. And I've been noting that even locally here in Guyana, there are some very subtle announcements being made as to the fact that private hospitals in Guyana are performing little surgeries as it pertains to going that route of cosmetic surgery altogether. Those particular procedures need experts, and they are extremely expensive for persons to even think about. So what happens is that persons now would go online and they will check around the globe to see where they can go and do it at an affordable cost. The problem is, when they're going to do that, they are receiving substandard work from persons that are not necessarily professionals in that area, and will just do a top-up slam dash job with your body, and you can't be taking that risk. It is crazy the amount of persons, even women in Guyana right now, that I know that are actively seeking to get medical treatment to enhance the way in which they look and all of that. We have to be real, and that's why I so often endorse campaigns that pushes real women, and this is how a real woman look. And especially when women have had children and all of that, change is inevitable when it comes to the human body. We born as a baby, we grow up, we're at our finest at one particular point in our life, and then we get old and your skin starts to sag. Women, men, everybody, that is a natural course of things. And there is not a damn thing you can do that's going to preserve you and that is going to maintain your health so that you're going to be 200 years old. So I was like, what is the point in doing that? I'm not going to be out there bashing people that do it. That is not my intention. But I'm saying that you have to be very careful in the places that you go to seek these medical attention when you are trying to, as persons would say, enhance your appearance altogether. And it is my opinion that once you're healthy, I always promote getting healthy. I get up and go to the gym every time I can, not because I love to go to the gym, because you try to keep yourself healthy and all of that. But I say that guys out there, commend women that are natural, commend women that haven't done procedures, and stop belittling women if they have a flaw here and there. Men out there with flaws head to toe condemning women if they have a few flaws. Doesn't make sense, This is a real conversation. I could have this for days, but on this point, very, very sad that someone actually lost their life when it comes to trying to enhance their body image. And this thing with social media and this perfectionist image that persons are being pressured in putting out there. 100 different filters on your phones and all of that to put out an image of perfection. No, it's not healthy. It's not healthy for our minds to go down that route at all. So
yep. So there's that we're watching at, and then again, closer to home, guys, we've been following the Renald Williams story.
Oh my goodness.
And Joyty, you know something about this. You can tell our viewers. It started with him just trying to head home after visiting a family member. Got knocked down, and then the taxi driver promised to take him to the hospital, and then we know how that went. Never got there. They found his body yesterday.
Yes. Well, they didn't find his body yesterday just like that, So I think what is very sad, and we had played the video with his sister when his sister was having the candlelight vigil, basically, and persons from the neighborhood out there with her supporting her. one particular person that spoke, I don't know if it's a neighbor, I can't remember directly, but he was saying he made a plea, and we made a plea on this show too. We made a plea for the guy involved in the accident to say, be honest, be truthful with this matter, and say where this person's body is, because it was clear as day what was going on. Eyewitnesses, and the sad part about this whole situation is that eyewitnesses saw, identified. The police, like the woman said, they acted immediately. They went and they got the driver for the car. He was in a lineup. He was identified by the eyewitness and all of that. But then he was sent home,
Yeah.
because and that is where the error came. I think that is where the error came, because at that point in time, nobody knows if the man was still alive. Nobody knows that. But now I think that what and then this thing came out as I know what you did last summer kind of scenario, in which he basically is saying now that he took the driver for the car, he that when he hit the guy down, he was taking the guy, and the guy was growing, and the guy stopped growing, and he panicked and go and dump his body. People pleaded.
Sad.
People
Sad.
pleaded with him to go, just speak the truth. You're not a medical expert to determine whether or not somebody is dead or not. Somebody could be dead, the body could be found decomposing and all of that. And unless they get to the hospital and a doctor pronounce them as dead, it can't be written off as the person is dead. So I think that it was a the whole situation is sad.
Tragic.
The entire situation is sad, because at some point, yes, you could say that you were afraid and you panic and all that, but how long do you feel that level of panic for? At some point in time, did you not think that, I don't even know this person was dead. I don't even know if this person was dead. But I think that it's very sad, and the fact that this is an indigenous man with all his relatives basically in the hinterland, just his sister out here and all that, it just spells dirty about the whole situation even further. So my thoughts and prayers is with his family as they basically come to grips with the facts that are being presented to them right now. They would be having to plan a funeral and all of that. So very, very sad situation. And now that individual that was driving the car is left to face the full length of the law and charges that he could not have even imagined prior is now going to be added to that sheet. So
correct.
Completely sad situation, but I am happy at this point in time that there is some bit of answers being presented.
Some amount of closure.
Yeah.
On this matter. You know what else we're following, guys? Are we following Handshake Gate? Handshake Gate. I've seen so much in this in social media.
Yesterday you said that you didn't see it as a big deal, but then like everybody else saw it as a big deal. So we were like, what? Like we probably missing something over here. Like what's the big deal about whether or not you shake somebody's hand?
It's not a big
what
deal.
Is that?
Yep. So there was a press conference yesterday, guys, by Leader of the Opposition, Mr. Aubrey C. Norton, and that question was raised in the press conference. What happened there, and why did you refuse to shake Irfan Ali's hand? And the Leader of the Opposition responded to that question. Had a very interesting answer, one that I love, if I to use your phrase, if I must say so.
Yes.
There's the response by the Leader of the Opposition. Love that response, and take a listen for yourself. Take a listen.
I was in a corner speaking with someone, and out of the blues, the president turned up with a set of cameras. I wasn't even looking in his direction. And he turned to me, and apparently he had his hand outstretched. And he turned to me and asked me if I don't want to shake his hand, and I said no. He then proceeded to what I consider to be bully his way. And we end up shaking hands. But I want to make it clear that, first of all, I cannot treat this as business as usual. You have a situation in Guyana where the president continues to dismiss workers from all across the public sector. Recently, 2 GPL workers complained that they were arbitrarily dismissed. A lot of who have been dismissed are essentially Afro-Guyanese and Indo-Guyanese and Amerindians who they perceive to be the APNU AFC. We are seeing signs in Guyana, if not full-blown, that they are operating in a dictatorial way. There is clear evidence that there is discrimination and the exclusion of Guyanese who are entitled to benefit, like in the flood relief, etc. While this is occurring, there are high levels of corruption. Though the way is cleared for the appointment of the Procurement Commission, it is not being appointed. We saw the illegal appointment of a commissioner of police in total violation of the law. We are seeing the misuse of state resources for narrow partisan political ends. We are seeing, as all this is done, the PPP is prepared to go out there and lie, be dishonest about things. We have seen the removal of projects that will benefit APNU AFC constituency. For instance, the athletics track in Linden, where Lindeners are showing that they are in the forefront of athletic achievement, but you stop it. We had on the cards the road from Mobura to Linden. The government wasn't prepared to go ahead with it. My understanding, it is pressure from the diplomatic community that caused them to go ahead with it. We saw them remove from the budget the construction of the bridge across the Demerara River from Wismar to Mackenzie. I am not going to allow the president to use a handshake for propaganda purposes. If I am shaking the president's hands, it is assumed that there is some amount of cordiality and that the people of Guyana are being served in a non-partisan way. And so for me, it wasn't a question of just a handshake. It was an attempt by the People's Progressive Party president to get a handshake and to throw it all around the globe as if everything is fine in Guyana between the government and the opposition and between the political parties. I signaled clearly that it cannot be business as usual. You cannot do the things you are doing to the people of Guyana and expect me to operate as if all is well. All isn't well. We have a government that is disrespectful and they have to be brought to book. And so my approach, while I saw one writer who is generally inconsistent saying that some nonsense, I am not prepared to be used to appear that all is well when all in Guyana, all of us know that all isn't well. The oil resources are not trickling down to the people of Guyana. It is the PPP elite, friends and family that are benefiting. The cost of living is going up and no proper measures are taken to deal with it. It cannot be business as usual. And my refusal to shake the hands of the president might not be conventional, but it is relevant to illustrate the reality of what the Guyanese people are facing.
Oh, very much correct. I must say that I endorse the sentiments of the leader of the opposition, Mr. Aubrey C. Norton. He is on point with what he's saying, you know. And I want to also make the point that I always say that the PPP, when their politics that they know, they basically go with a warfare. It's a psychological warfare. That's the way in which I put it over, and that's why they're so anxious to get these images out to mess with people's psyche.
Shake a hand.
To
You
go
shake
and
a
say,
hand.
oh,
Yeah.
we're good, and they're going to
We're good,
circulate those things through the government,
Damn right.
taxpayers paid media. And they are going to circulate it and say, "Oh, it's all good. Things are good. I don't know what these people talking about on the outside, what people complain about. Look, we're good." And that was the attempt that you saw there also to have that handshake. The very fact that it was circulated so heavily means that it was planned, and they planned to push it out like that. So Mr. Norton is absolutely correct in giving his response. Because yesterday even we made a point right here that says there's a handshake should mean something, It should mean something. It's not just you just don't go around shaking people's hands. It's just like that, especially persons that are not just in anything that they are doing. So on point, but Ms. Norton actually made some very profound point when it comes to what we've been saying every day, actually, that persons, the way in which the PP administration is managing the country, there's something to shake hands about.
Correct.
And we can go, I think this can take us directly into our big issue, what we have today.
Correct. And as we go there, in that press conference yesterday, Mr. Norton also spoke to the appointment of the substantive Chief Justice and also
the
Procurement
Commission,
right?
Public Procurement Commission also.
Yeah, he talks about how they have already, he has signaled to the president, he signaled to the finale that he's in agreement that the Chief Justice should be appointed, and that person should be, Wiltshire, Miss Wiltshire, and also the Chancellor should be Edwards Cummins. But Irfan says, he can do it when he's ready. He also spoke to that, and I want to bring some of that to you, our listeners.
Well, first of all, you said, Mrs. Teixeira said that in the president's own time he will deal with it. I'm saving the president the trouble of having to ask for agreement. The Constitution says in 127.1 that he needs the agreement of the opposition. What I've done is to remove any barrier whatsoever. I've made it clear through the representative in this letter that I'm in agreement once it is the appointment of the Chancellor and the Chief Justice. There is no stumbling block left. Any decision not to appoint them will now rest squarely with the president, because I've publicly said, go ahead, and I've put in writing to him, I am in agreement with the appointment of Justices Cummins Edwards and George Wiltshire. So the path is clear for their appointment.
I mean, that was important, and that was important because they must not be able to come back and say, oh, well, we didn't have agreement between government and opposition. So that was very, very important.
Very much so. And we heard Mr. Norton talk about the bullyism, talk about the dictatorial nature of the PPP. And that is what we've been seeing in the regions, which is our big issue today. This bullyism. We saw quite recently the Prime Minister talking about City Hall trying to score some cheap political points at the expense of City Hall. But again, it is as Mr. Norton said, is there bullyism? They don't want to work with the city, right? Because they didn't win the city. They don't want to work in any region where they don't have absolute control. And that is why instead of working with City Hall, they have been holding back resources.
That is true. That is true, and I think I do believe that we need to keep beating on the facts when it comes to the Coalition One regions and the way in which the PPP administration is sidelining the elected officials, persons that were elected by the people in those regions to best serve them and represent them at that level. And I took a personal interest in every word that is coming out of none other than Mark Phillips currently, when he is trying to throw blame on the mayor and city council as to what is going on.
Disrespectful.
And throwing warning over and all of that. When they themselves consistently stifle, sideline, handcuff the system altogether.
Correct.
And people, you would remember, listen, you would remember And I always say, mark my words. I say it over and over. I said that they are stifling them. They are sidelining them. Basically, they're shackling them by lack of resources from doing anything because they want to come back and they want to say, oh, what are they doing for you? And so said, so done. I always say to mark my words on these matters because I can read them like this is the same record. The players change. They rotate their players off so many times.
Yeah.
But it is the same mantra.
Yeah.
Guys.
Yeah. It's the same nature. And that's what we've been seeing because when we've been following their handouts of hampers and band-aids rather of hampers and handouts, we see the tactics, People keep asking, what is happening to Region 4? What is happening to Region 4? They went to Region 2, give out a lot of stuff. Region 5, Region 6. Region 10 get a couple things. The folks said they turned up for work yesterday, nothing meaningful to do. When these jobs they're claiming they're handing out.
It's not jobs.
Right? But again, when you look to see where the things are going, and I don't like to talk about people being racist and so on, but that is what it looks like when you follow the map. It's an electoral map. Right? It's everything to we own. But other places, Region 4 get nothing yet. Like people don't even live in Region 4. Region 4 like it's a barren land. And that is what we're seeing in some of what has been handed out nationally. And then when we look at what has been given out even regionally by the Regional Democratic Council, it makes what Mark Phillips said ludicrous.
I don't know who Mark Phillip thinks he's talking to, and I want to not just gloss over it altogether. This is a very serious matter, right? And this is their attempt. This is how they intend to go to the people within Coalition One region and to say, oh, well, you voted for them and what did they do for you? And I consistently say that every single day, every decision that is being made, and that's why I stress the point so much on the podcast that we had recently when it pertains to what is going on at the Desiree Fox Secondary School there at Ramadan, and the fact that Priya Manichan took to Facebook and in her response saying, oh, well, the administration is managed by the Region 7 administration. And I said, I'm not going to leave it as that, because what she is saying is that, oh, this region was won by the APNU ALC and they are mismanaging the system there. That is what she was attempting to say. And that's why I made it very clear and I broke it down, and I'm going to continue to do it, that the elected officials within the Coalition One regions are being sidelined in every decision. And I also made a point that when it comes to things like the boards that gives out contracts and so forth for work to be done, they are controlling every single last one of them in the Coalition One regions. And when it comes to the administrative duties and the way in which the money is actually spent and who holds the authority to spend money within the region, it is their REOs that are doing that within the region. So nobody could come to me with the nonsense and the trash talk altogether. And it is not okay for a sitting prime minister installed, however he may be. It is not okay for him to go and to try to provide misinformation to the Guyanese people. And I'm not going to call it misinformation, it's disinformation.
Perfectly correct.
Directly intended. It is put together in that manner to deceive people altogether. We cannot be okay with it. Everyone needs to call him out on it. You are not in a position to condemn folks that you have been stifling resources from day one.
Perfectly correct. Perfectly correct. Because as we were talking early on in the green room before we came on, these are the folks who tie your hands behind your back and then come and asking, what have they done for you?
Yes.
Right? Stifling you of resources, then coming to ask, what have you done for you? And to read these numbers definitely is right up your alley. This is what has been happening regionally.
Yes, look at and specifically, he's speaking about a matter that is pertinent to Region 4. Look at Region 4. Look at Region 4. The budget went to $552.9 billion. And how much did they increase Region 4 by? They didn't increase it by 1 cent. It was a decrease. In 2021, they got 21 over 21 million. In 2022, the budget went down to 18 million plus.
Yeah.
What the hell is that? And then you come and you put out articles that says, oh, well, what are you doing? You have to come up and get stuff done and all that. Absolute nonsense. That is a regional. I want to just make the point that this is at the regional level altogether.
Yeah.
But this is
And all
a
of the region
microcosm of the issue
that they
we're
control in
talking about.
totality. All of the regions they control in totality. The money went up. But George, Region 4, the biggest, most populous region, got less. Got less
because they
from this
want to
shine
go,
rice regime.
They're only starting, and I'm making a point. You're looking at 6211, and that's what we're looking at there. We're looking at the line item there that you're looking at is 6211, and I always make the point. Monies have been allocated, and monies are being directed to 6211. 6211, folks, I want you to be sharp on your response to these things when you see it online. So I always try to explain. 6211 is basically what goes to the region, the RDC, and the RDC is allowed to spend that money off of their own. There are other projects that are done in the region that comes under the direct management and stewardship of the PPP administration. So what they have done there is that they are crippling the work that the elected officials for the region, the people at the Region 4 residents went out and voted for. They are stifling them, they're shackling them altogether to make sure that they are not financially empowered to go out there and make proper representation for the people that elected them. And they're starting with the mayor. I am saying it right here, right? They are starting with the mayor of George. And you said, oh, what are you doing? And then they're going to go to the regional chairman and they're going to say, the RDC, what are you doing? And they're going to say, these are the people that you elected, and they're not out there doing anything for you. But I am showing you the numbers, and the people can't do anything for you when they are being sidelined. They can't do anything for you when they are not given the financial freedom to go out there and get the job done. So Mark Phillips needs to take several seats on this matter. He needs to take several seats on it, because as young as I am in politics, this wouldn't fly by me, and it cannot fly by anyone else in this country.
And as you're on that, look at those numbers from another angle. Look back at Region 4 that they're complaining about. The Region 4 took a 15% cut in its budget from the previous year. 15%, but they're asking you now to make bricks out of straws.
To do more. Do more.
With less.
Do more with
this
less.
This is PP administration for you. Look at the regional breakdown, right? Region 7 at 7%, dip in its budget. Well, increase in its budget, 7%, right? Region 8, 3%. Right, Region 9.
Look at Region 10.
Region 10, a 1% increase.
Let's look at Region 10. Let us look at Region 10 specifically.
Region 10, 1% increase in the regional budget, but you can go and ask them, what y'all doing here?
Region 10, let me narrow the focus in on Region 10. Region 10, the increase that they have, when with a budget that went to $552.9 billion in 2022, they told the persons in Region 10 that they can only afford to give the RDC $501,000 extra.
Yeah.
Right? And then they went on their campaign and their outreach and said, oh, we love you, the people of Region 10, and we are here and we are fighting for you, and we're going to create part-time jobs for you. And then they went to their they went to their installed representatives on the ground, specifically through the office of the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister, Mark Phillips himself, and I'm going to zone in on him because his eyes pass the guy in these people. They went to the Prime Minister's representative there in the region, and they said, oh, in order for you to get the jobs, this man that I put there, my political person on the ground there, you have to go to him. And
don't
he
go to
has
the REO,
the
don't go to the
regional chairman don't have the applications. You got to go to him. No, they give some to the REO too. That is their REO. Don't get it twisted. It's their REO. And they said to go to him if you want this job. So you have to go through this political filter now. Oh, and then you can go and say, oh, you was talking against I see you there posting against the PPP government on Facebook. And so you come back.
No work for you.
Absolute nonsense. Nobody's going to come and try to say at this point in time that, oh, look, we are here. We are trying to do work for you, but they are not allowing. When they go to Region 10, the people of Region 10 need to ask them, if you love us so much, if you care about this region so much, why is it that you are stifling the persons that we elected to represent us of the resources that they need to do the work for us, because that will be real democracy, respecting the will of the people from grassroots up. But that is not what is going on. There is no democracy, there's no good governance, there's no oversight, there's no transparency, there's definitely no accountability, and we will not accept this nonsense coming from the level of the office of the Prime Minister.
Stifling the regions that you know the coalition has supporting, and then you're saying, you're saying
if
that
I'm to go back to this,
you're saying that, what y'all doing? Tying their hands behind their back, and then you come and say, what y'all doing? What's happy when doing nothing for y'all? Wicked.
And if I'm to go, listen, I am particularly disturbed and upset with this. I'm particularly because it's coming from the office of the Prime. It's coming from the person that sits in the seat of the Prime Minister of this country. That is where it's coming from. That is why I'm particularly upset with it. Because then I can go to Region 7, another coalition, one region. And Mark Phillips did not want me to start with Region 7. He does not want me to start with the structure that they have implemented in Region 7 right about now. Through his office and the representative from his office, and the blatant corruption and nonsense that is going on within the region at this point in time. And I am waiting patiently. I am waiting patiently to unfold what is going on in Region 7. It will be done so strategically. I hope he's ready for the responses that he has to give to that.
Yep. There you have it, folks. That's what's happening. That's the facts. Facts of the matter. They are underfunding the regions, tying the hand behind the back,
whatever fund is directed to the regions that the coalition representatives were elected to serve, and whatever funds they direct to the region, they are putting it through a political filter that their representatives will decide on how the money will be distributed and how it will be utilized, who gets contract, who benefits from these damn part-time jobs that have absolutely no longevity and sustainability altogether. This is not a story. It is unacceptable. There is no structure to it, and Mark Phillips has absolutely no right and power to say half of the nonsense that he's saying there. Correct is right. I have nothing more to add. Can't add anything else. I don't think I should add anything else. I think I'm gonna get too upset in this matter. I swear. That's it, guys. Credible and valid information. Judith David, credible and valid information. Sasha Trim and Gordon, credible and valid. We tell you guys, we do our homework. At this time, we don't just run out the black spew and stuff, for propaganda's sake. We do our homework, and Marie Selby, and Chinsing Henry, Susan Washington. We do our homework, and Gordon. That's why we say to you guys, you got to smash that emoji button that others get valid and credible information. It helps with the algorithm, helps it to appear on different pages and, in different, in the feeds, in other places. Share the live stream as long as it doesn't affect your job and so on, because we know them boys stay. Yes, right? Exactly. If it doesn't affect your job, share the damn live stream, folks. Smash that emoji button. And Leonard Fraser, partner with us as well, because this is what your funding goes to do. Help us to do the research. Help us to put the information together. Help us to keep the lights on and the door open and come to you day after day, bringing to you valid and credible information. That's my passion. Valid, credible information. That's my passion. Valid, credible information, folks. You see? This is the facts, You see, when you come with this, there's no escaping. This is their figures, it's their numbers. That's their budget. 15%. Their budgetary allocation to the region. Gone from Region 1, from Region 4. Right? How are you going to maintain pumps with a 15% dip in budget? Right? Region 10, how are you going to fix roads with 1% increase? How are you going to do the work properly? How are you going to keep drains clean? Right? Yep. Take care of the garbage and so forth. And provide a good standard of living. Right? But look at the places that they're in. Region 2, 14% more. Huh? You think they're easy? No? All right. Region 5 what? 32. Not 32. 32. Percent increase. This again, I have to say, it goes to line item 6211, which is a line item that is responsible, that is given the actual RDC is given the flexibility to decide on the spending. This is an electoral map you're watching here, and that's how they're plugging the funds in. So where it believes it best serve them, not the people of Guyana. And then Catfish go on come and tell me what one Guyana. Look,
Take several seats. Want to come and talk about one Guyana? Folks, partner with us. Find a way. Find a way. We got lots of responsibilities. And you know, the last 2 months have been rough. Y'all see what's happening out there. It's been rough. But we want to keep going. We got the stamina to keep going. We want to keep going. Keep the lights on, the doors open. All I mean is you got people who help us to pull all this together for your benefit. We ain't just on here for our talking foolishness, you know. Credible, valid information. We can stand up and defend anywhere the information we put forward here. That's what we're in for.
You know, sometimes you just have to put forward their own information. I encourage you, you know, folks out there, I know some of you just don't have the time, but some of you do. And when we talk about fact checking, I always encourage you, when you see these numbers that we're putting forward right about now, these numbers are taken directly from the budget, the PPP budget. If you go, when we talk about inflation rate, you can go to Bureau statistics and all of that, and you can pull their reports. When you want to hear anything about, when you want to research anything that goes with inflation and anything to do with money supply and all of things, Bank of Guyana, all of the documentation are out there, but they're not going to come and present you with the evidence because it is damning against them.
Correct.
It is damning against them.
You won't see this on Chronicle. You won't see it on NCN. Definitely you won't see it on DPI. Right? You will never see facts and credible information there because that's not what they're in for. It's a sugarcoat to pretend to you that the status quo remains, to get a handshake and they can show the handshake whole day in them places. But they give you facts and say, oh, we gave region 10 less or 1% more than the last budget and we expect miracles out of them. We give George region 4, Georgia inclusive, 15, 13, 14, whatever it is.
That money still goes
less.
through. That money still goes through the RU. The RU still have to release it.
We give them less, but we expect everything to work perfect, right? And then we can roll out Mark Phillips to talk nonsense. They won't show that.
I want to say that. I have to say that also. That money also still goes through the administrative body of the region.
So some of them can still thief out.
No, not just that. I want to make the point. Listen, I can be on this forever because I will not accept it as okay for these stupid statements and these stupid headlines to be coming out basically from that office. It's disrespectful, and you must have a little more morality altogether when you are sitting in that office. Forget about you. This is not about the individual. This is about the seat, the office that it represents. The office should not be peddling such disinformation altogether. And I have to say, even for that amount of money that you're referring to, that I made a point that is the amount of money, the region have the flexibility to make decisions at the level of the RDC and so forth as to how and they spend these money. And I want to make the point also that it still comes through the administrative structure.
Still come through. There's no independence.
It still comes through the area per se. And that is why, even with the situation at Ramadan, it was none other than one of the regional councillors from region number 7 that said that they have been asking to go to the hinterland locations, the middle Mazaruni, upper Mazaruni locations, and they are being told that the money isn't available. And they know the money is there and available. So know what
kind of wickedness.
Write them down, and when they made such absurd, ludicrous comments altogether, you pull them out.
It's a kind of wickedness, folks. Kind of wickedness. Share the damn live stream. Smash the emoji button, folks. Partner with us. We're available via Zelle, PayPal, Cash App, MMG. Available via Western Union.
PayPal, you said PayPal.
MoneyGram as well. You can see it again. Go right ahead. Right? And folks, our MMG number is our WhatsApp number as well. The MMG number is the WhatsApp number.
627-6963. I think Cheryl is forgetting it now.
627-6963. Folks, find a way to partner with us. We need your help.
And Diane Gravesandi, you have some catching up to do, so you're going to have to look back at the program.
Please
Diane says I'm late.
Please do.
Good morning.
Please do. Right? Elizabeth Narayan says she likes my pink shirt. She's seen pink. You see that?
Yeah, we're different.
Everybody's seen their own story this morning. Right. I think it's mauve. I think it's a little mauve.
Well, Candy, I think lilac. I don't know.
I mean, you know something. Elizabeth may be watching us on a good smart television. You watch us. You look back at some things on a good TV. You miss a lot of things. You say, "All this in this movie." Okay. You watch Die Hard, for instance, with Bruce Willis on a good TV. Says, "All this I miss."
I missed the entire movie.
You see that? You see that? You big back TV. You pick up. You have to slap the back.
And turn on.
Tune.
Yes,
You're finding it. Miss the whole movie altogether. Right, so maybe Elizabeth watching us on a good pulling out pink from this movie. Nonetheless, guys, good to have each and every one of you folks. We do so much to make sure that you guys get a good valid and credible information. You got to be up very early, sifting through information, pulling out information. It's a whole day, and a whole day we spend on these programs.
So when you're saying to please check on the American Airlines suspension, I'll be sure to check in on that.
Yeah, we're going to be following that. We're going to be following that. Thanks for joining us, folks. Party with us. Party with us. Share. Same thing. Share the damn live stream, guys. And smile. I look like slim now.
If that comforts you.
Things like I was compelled to fast. Like the Apostle Paul said, I was compelled. Things hard. It's not you really want to eat. It's just that there's nothing to eat. It's just rice. Shine rice regime.
Sad.
That's what they are.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oil
That's it, folks. That's it. Peace out.
Have a good day, guys.
Drops Mike.
See you, Sminty.
See you guys for the podcast. That's it.